Mm-mm. You're gonna need to stay here so Shola can be added to the live.
I'm not sure how to do that.
Well, you're gonna have to learn today.
I guess.
Hey everybody, this is Rama from Our Stop Shop. I am giving it a minute or two to let folks get into the live, but also to let one of the business partners get onto the live with me. um, so just bear with us a few seconds while we wait. Happy Monday. Happy Money Monday. Um, Great time to be alive. Thomas, I think you need to lift your phone a little bit. Hold on the thing while you do it. There we go. I think that's good. Boom, 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 boom. So I'm ready to get into this. I'm just giving one of the business partners a minute to get into it with us because it's technically supposed to be both of us. So sorry for the wait, everybody. Um, where he at? Where he at? Where he at? Where he at? Mm. Awesome. Well, while I wait for him, let me be productive. I really don't like to waste time idly. Um, so some of the important updates that has now shifted this from our desired topic of today to a new topic, i.e., the buy black market, was some news we got. So today we got some news from our trade show setup company of the floor plan based on our requests, based on all of the feedback we've received from businesses who have participated, and the feedback was not what we would have liked to hear. So, anywho, so one of the things that is happening with the buy black market until we are in a bigger space is the number of vendors we'll have per event day is drastically decreasing. Um, Based on the 10 by 10 square foot booth setup, it looks like we're right around being able to accommodate 125 businesses per event day, which is a drastic cut in every way, right? Now, this is great for the dozens of businesses who left on their vendor feedback form that they believe that the volume of vendors was the problem with them seeing the sales they wanted to see, or that the volume of businesses in similar industries was the problem with them seeing the sales that they wanted to see. So super great for them. However, understand our mission was with this event is to streamline accessibility to information resources and brands and businesses within our community. So the more we yank back vendor quantity, um, the more events have to pass before people actually have accessibility if they're in certain industries to even have the opportunity. But then also, what that means is we have intentionally used collective group economics, collective, cooperative, or collective economics to make these events accessible for the masses of small Black businesses. And what I mean by that is, um, for every one business that participates in our event that really could afford the vendor fee at what it would normally be, there are probably five businesses. I'm going to say more than that. There are probably close to like 20 businesses. And I'm not exaggerating. There are probably about 20 businesses where the previous price point was the reason why they had a point of entry to even get into the space. And so what that means is the more we consolidate in the quantity of vendors, the higher all the costs get for those who are involved. And that's what's going to happen, right? Because we just cut 75 vendors a day. But the upside to that is if you felt like other whatever business owners within your same industry, there being too many of them, was your barrier entry to see the growth opportunity you want, the sales opportunity you want. The truth is about to be in the pudding, because it's going to be like 3 or 4 of you, and if you're not able to see the revenue you were able, did you feel like you should see, despite the limitations being enforced, then it's time to self-assess. One of the things that our goal is to do every step of the way in bridging the gap is to educate, so people don't feel blindsided, overwhelmed, confused about what it is they're doing. So one of the things we have done every Buy Black market is email our vendors, email them tips, email them information, email them resources to utilize, email them guidance to understand what it is going on, give them constructive and concrete steps to take to prepare, in every regard, from payment processing to price points to display to marketing materials to call to actions to being able to have the ability to get those leads that you generate during interactions converted to actual revenue earned or sustained within your business model, your current business model, or your growing business model. We On top of that, we do a lot of these lives. This isn't like an isolated event. So if this is your first time realizing that our stop shop goes live, we do a live literally every Monday except last Monday. It was Labor Day. But we do a live literally every Monday. And all of these lives are saved on boom 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 YouTube for you to reference. They're also saved on Facebook and Instagram. But if you can't find them anywhere else, or you're having a hard time sifting through YouTube, they are streamlined and they are cataloged based on what they are. Awesome. Here he go. Shola, request to join. It's fine. Just request to join this form. Thomas, can you come around here to the iPhone and add Shola to the live? You're gonna have to come around. You trying to do it like that is gonna knock something out of place. Hold on for 1 second. So Shola is here. Awesome. We can do it straight from the one you already on now. Hold it with one hand, click it with the other. Hold it with one hand, click it with the other. His shoulder is right there at the bottom. I think this Shola. Shola. Okay, then get on Instagram. Thomas, you're moving too much. Get on the You Buy Black Instagram. The login is in your text. And the password. Bye. All right. Sorry about that. I need you to adjust this a little bit because you moved it in your process. This just a tiny bit, just a very tiny bit. That's perfect. Awesome. So while we wait for Shola to figure out how to get onto the Buy Black Markets Instagram page so he can join this live with me for us to fully discuss what it is we decided to go live about today. I'm just gonna finish covering what it was I was saying. The next Buy Black Market is Black Friday weekend. So literally the entire weekend after Thanksgiving, from that Friday to that Sunday. Our desire and our goal with doing the Buy Black Markets when we do is to capitalize on streamlining a lot of the economic spending power that leaves our community for large consumer spending purposes to be redirected back into Black businesses. So what that means is uh, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Chinese New Year, right? That is a huge consumer spending time of the year. And Black people, there's a running number of Black people spend over 1 trillion. I'm pretty sure it's more than that at this point, just thanks to inflation and all that jazz. But the Black community alone, just within America, they're not even talking about the international Black community, just within the United States of America, spends over 1 trillion in consumer spending power, right? And so the desire is to direct a lot of that spending back into our businesses, right? But that requires for our businesses to be adequately equipped with the business model, with the capabilities of scaling, with the demand requirements to come with it, with the pricing model that makes sense for the volume you're now receiving versus living sale to sale, living check, borderlines check to check, but based on your business revenue, right? And so our goal with everything that we provide, we educate on, we equip with, is to give you that type of leverage to be ready when the time presents itself. That is what it's all about. It is super great. And these, even in our events goals, while it is to circulate the short-term money for everybody that comes in attendance, the real goal is to allow for volumes of that money to stay within the community, right? Because if you make the right connections, you become their point of reference for that resource or that service or that product that you offer. You become that wholesaler or that distributor that they align with. That's why the business networking is way more invaluable than even the money you can make at the event, which is why even on the vendor feedback form, one of the biggest questions are, did you have a lead generation in place? Have you made sales since the event? If you had a lead generation in place, the people who had it in place, and majority of the people who capitalize on the opportunity to be in a space like this with fellow Black businesses that are investing in their business, that are building their brands, that are developing, but also with consumers who genuinely believe in Black economic empowerment, who want to support Black businesses, local businesses, small businesses. Those are your windows of opportunity, and those just aren't your windows of opportunity to make some money real quick. Those are your windows of opportunity to continue to see the revenue growth, that when you have a new product release, you already have an arsenal of people prepared to buy it and support it because they want to try the next thing you got up your sleeves. When you have when you run promotions, people are capitalizing on those discounts and offers that you release because they've been waiting to buy more from you in volume, right? There's so much. Awesome. Thomas Shola's in. Can you come help? Thomas. Shola, submit like request to join this live, and I see it. So just give me a second for Thomas to help. Actually, I can help with it. Don't worry about it. I think that should let you do it. Or maybe this one will let you do it. Shelly, you there? So for everybody who's trying to understand, yes. So me and Shola are on a joint live on Instagram for anybody who's not on Instagram. Just so everybody is on the same page. Can you come move the iPhone? Because it's like starting to droop. Can we get that fixed? Please. and then rotate it because it's like on an angle. My bad for the move it more this way. No, that. Yes, that's fine. Thank you. Awesome. He back. Your forehead shiny. It's like I'm kidding. All right. Yeah, I remember you said that. All right. So what I was covering, what I've covered since before you joined the live was the fact that we one, we cut down the number of vendors as a lot of people presented to us from the vendor feedback forms. They talked about how they felt like it was too many of similar or the same, or they felt like, why is my phone tripping? Am I breaking up? If I'm not if y'all can see me, hear me, everything fine, put a one in the chat real quick. I need to make sure it's not me. So put a one in the chat on Instagram if I'm breaking up. I mean, if y'all can hear me, see me, and everything is working fine. If it's breaking up for you, can you grab that again? Like both hands. Click on where you see the red thing. Oh, actually go up. See where it says view, right below wave. You might need to get closer, like actually stand up and look at it. All right. Bear with me 1 second, guys. Instagram just kicked them off the thing. View is above that. Yeah. And then hit, yeah. All right. Instagram just kicked them off out live. Haters. All right. There.
That wasn't Instagram. That was me fucking up.
Oh, all right. So, yeah. So I just wanted to make sure it wasn't me. I appreciate you, the Rise Corporation. So yeah, I covered the fact that a number of people on both vendor feedback forms, not just August but April too. They felt like, despite the fact that we cut numbers both events, that that they felt like other people with similar business product services was hindering their sales capability. So we're cutting vendor quantity. We decided to increase booth size, right? We just decided to cut vendor quantity because the last event we did 8x8 foot booths, a lot of people said it wasn't enough space for them. So we cut about what is it, 8 booths per row? We actually cut a full row. We cut a full row and then we cut eight booths per row that's remaining. So that knocked us down to 125 vendor booths. And so let's talk about it, Shola, because that wasn't the gist of it.
So we incorporated many things like through y'all vendor feedbacks. A lot of y'all complain about other people who are in the same industry as you guys or whatever. And what was I gonna say? And basically, it's like complaining. Let's pretend this was Walmart. But you go in Walmart and complain, oh, there's too many lotion brands. My product's not selling. No, you give exceptional customer service, and that's what we've been pushing on you guys. That it's not a matter of who else is in your industry. It's your presentation, how you engage in the people. Are you just sitting behind your table, just expecting sales? So we did cut a couple vendor slots, and I know you guys think that's gonna make the sales go up, but technically it might not. You know what I'm saying? You still might be performing piss poor. You know what I'm saying? What else we covered?
Vendor check-in is stricter. For November, there's no refunds. It's non-refundable for all vendor fees.
Oh yeah, I think is that when the girl did the thing?
Mm-hmm. The 2 girls. It was 2 girls.
Okay, all right, so we're gonna touch on something. We had a business apply. They showed up. They had their day or whatever the case was. And what they did was they went back and their vendor slot they reported it as credit card fraud, basically saying that they didn't get their service or whatever the case may be. What was the business name?
It was, I'm not gonna say the business name because we're gonna use this
No,
recording
say, no,
for
say it.
no,
No,
we
say,
actually
say,
posted that business on our page. We posted photos of that business booth on our page today.
all right, no, the one that we had the pictures for. Which business was it?
It's Nafisa Organics.
Yeah, so like, okay, you all the way down, right? But you guys don't understand what goes on behind the scenes, we listen to your feedback and we make the changes that you request, but also understand this is the outcome. This is the outcome of those changes that we make. Vendor fees do have to go up. We cut more people. It's going to be more sales. You're going to make more money, so the fees should go up. I mean, that's just logical, and cutting down on you guys on the so-called competition, because it's either you're going to do it or you're not. It's going to be a better, if you're smart about it. I don't know. What else we got?
But one of the things that has to remember that doesn't happen during the other ones is check-in is literally 2 days before the event starts. But ultimately, we're not putting as much emphasis on the vendor shirts. We're bringing in vendor wristbands.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because majority of the teams are larger than people acknowledge. So it's like, all right, everybody who is a vendor, you got the option to rock a vendor shirt, or you can rep your own brand if you have one, and you can wear a vendor wristband for identification purposes. And you can get up to 4 of those because that's what's allowed quantity wise in the venue. We did not cut pipe and drape despite people's dislike with trade show setup, a trade show style event. What we did is we decided to change the color. So pipe and drape isn't black anymore, it's white. White goes better for a number of reasons. We'll talk about it later. But yeah, that's one. We cut the catering. No, that was something we did cut. We cut catering, the meal pre-order option. Nobody has an option to meal pre-order anymore because of somebody violating the caterer and stealing her products. And then there was also a claim that somebody stole another vendor's food. And we cut table add-ons completely. We cut all table add-ons. That is one that we cut as a option in an effort for people not to get comfortable with the idea of setting behind a table when your product isn't information.
Did we also did we agree on the 8x8?
Oh, I sent it to the trade show setup company. I'm pretty sure we can do it. Okay. But it's going to be a very small group.
Y'all want to announce it yet, though?
I mean, we can.
Okay. We've agreed on increasing booth size, and we do understand a lot of you guys are on the come up. A lot of you guys are more package ready, presentation ready, more have streamlined things more. So what we did is, even though we increased the booth size, we did keep some 8x8.
Yeah, and it's literally only one row.
Yeah, it's only one row. So what's the total?
30.
30.
It's literally only 30.
Yeah, we will keep 30 rows.
No, 30 booths.
I mean, 30 booths. I'm trying. Hey, yeah. Hey, look. Stop. Yeah, stop. I know you're going to cheat out. But look, I've been trying to hold it in the whole time, yeah. But look, back to business. We did keep 30 businesses that will be able to have 8x8 size booths. You cannot double up on an 8x8. These are for like businesses that are still on the come up. Maybe you don't have your package ready. Maybe you don't have enough money to, you know what I'm saying, get a bigger normal size booth. You cannot double up on them. What else?
Those are two of the big ones. Also, it's it's a microscope on the 8x8 booth owners.
Oh yeah. You can't do an 8x8 for more than like what we say 2 events.
Yeah, 2 events. So ultimately, by next August, if you have used a 8x8 booth twice as a vendor, then you should be at a place in execution and results where you have the ability to transition into one of the other ones. Oh, one of the things we rolled out, and I let me touch on it since you already hit on the 8x8 to kind of help subsidize the cost for those for some of the vendors who the real new price may be overwhelming or may be out of reach for them. We have completely transitioned the platform we use for vendor registration. That's a part of why it's not open yet. The final touches are being put on it, but more so than that, it's these little nuances happening on the back end, and the new database is going to allow for us to be able to accommodate payment plans for vendors again, which we know a lot of vendors capitalized on with our April event. And so pulling that out of the equation for August, we know a lot of people went through a level of financial insecurity or financial uncertainty, and being able to make that initial investment without knowing what they would see as a return on it. So yeah, ultimately we did that. That was one of the intentional things we were doing. These events were always created to bridge the gap and to give folks a leg up that we ain't have.
Right. The goal is not to just keep doing it for $1. The goal is to grow your business. It's not to okay, let me just do this for a quick buck. No, it's to grow your business, get yourself to the next level. It's just not here snatch a couple dollars. No, it's so whatever profit you should. I mean, smart thing would be to put it back into your business, or whatever, or expanding your business. But I think some of you guys are just here to snatch a quick buck, and
it shows.
I mean, we're eventually gonna see, you know what I'm saying? Because eventually you're not gonna be able to hang with what's going on.
I ain't say it, but it was said. I said I ain't say it, but it was said. But yeah, and I think the most important part is people aren't taking heed to the information being given. Like, it's cool for you to understand there's this big event happening, that there's this event happening at the fairgrounds. Like, oh, I ain't never been able to get in the fairground. Like, understand the access point of entry is structured that way intentionally for you not to be able to get in this spaces. So us doing what we do to bridge that gap and help get people that leg up, the reason why we do so much information, why we emailing so much, why we literally giving you a step-by-step breakdown of this is what you need to be thinking about, this is what you need to know, this is what that means, so you comprehend what you're walking into for real. Because a lot of the grace and a lot of the proactiveness we give you, they don't give you none of that shit, and they ask for 10 times what we asked for to get your foot in the door. It's like you fuck up, you out of luck. Because they assume you know business.
Black people tend to abuse that. They tend to really abuse that. They think just because, this is a black owned organization, they think, we can be lax, we can treat them or do anything. No, it doesn't work like that. Because if we don't have this event, you don't have nothing to showcase your business. If you go to a white person trade show or something, a white organization with lots more money, they not going to deal with y'all bullshit. I'm telling you, it's tons and tons of bullshit.
Like, deadlines is deadlines. Oh, we don't care that you ain't read the terms and conditions. That ain't my problem. We don't care that you thought this was included. That ain't my problem. Like, you can come in, you can go. But then there's a second part where it's like, you get to saying the wrong thing, you come off hostile or aggressive. And that leads to a whole nother situation where you criminalize for just trying to handle business.
But a lot of people use that. Oh, that's why I don't support black business. Oh, things are streamlined. Like, if we send you tons of email on the same topic, why would you come the day of and ask? Like, that shit holds up things. It holds up things getting done. just because you didn't take the time to read. And so now we're gonna crack down on that type stuff. Like it was in an email. If you gotta sit in your car and read every email or watch every fucking social media video, I guess that's what the fuck you gonna have to do because
Yeah.
you want the process.
The I didn't know is probably the worst part, I think, because it's like the people who read, the people who are in tune, who are paying attention, who are taking heed and learning and implementing, they're like, it's overwhelming. They were like, we noticed you sent some of the same stuff over and over again. It's like, well, you read it, but you only 20% of the population. Like the other 80% of these business owners are chilling, and then they're reaching out days before the event like, can I get this? Is it possible to still do this? Is it too late to do this? Or they think they just gonna send us money and we gonna figure it out for them. And it's just like, that's a part of why this process has been streamlined to the database too. I mean, to a completely different website where it's like every single nuance has to be handled accordingly as a part of the process. And if you don't, you just out of luck. Ain't no way to modify it, ain't no way to update it, change it, make exceptions. There are no exceptions to the rule in business. So that's a big one too. I think the fraud thing is probably at the top of our list of interesting things, especially since we're dealing with all fellow business owners. You know, like we ain't dealing with random ass people. Like, and that's a part of why our business model is so so intricate though. That's a part of why, because it's like it came up, but we literally just pulled 3 things from our database and put it in and literally uploaded. We screenshot it or we saved the file and we literally uploaded them as PDF. So it was like, imagine if we just had a form that said custom item, like most people Square merchant account catalogs, and it said $1 amount. Imagine that. Or imagine if we ain't have no terms and conditions and they were like, yeah, I win and stuff, but I ain't get what I was supposed to get. You get what I'm saying? Like, it would have been like, damn, we just take a hit after hit. Now in April, the one thing I will applaud all of our April vendors on, and we didn't have a single chargeback, single dispute, single nothing on the financial side on the back end. But we also ate a shitload of the fees for vendors in April and August. Like, these events are not profitable for our Stop Shop. Like, they really are, because it's just like, it's like they're not they're not monetarily profitable for our Stop Shop. Like, these really are to get access to resources, not just for y'all, but for us. We're looking for stuff. We're looking for businesses within the community. We're looking for certain things to execute on other stuff. And it ain't easy to find. A lot of people ain't in a place where they can afford to put hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands into a marketing budget to put themselves on your radar. And the shit getting rigged more and more now with the Apple and Facebook beef. So it's like you got to work 10 times as hard just to reach half the people. And if you don't have the leverage like we got, guess what? We may stumble upon you, or somebody might know about you that can refer you, but 9 out of 10 times you just waiting. You literally just waiting and hoping and trying to find that connect. And the people that you got to outsource to, then look, prices get real interesting, don't they, Shola? When they start to see all this Black content. We know what industry rates are. We deal in these industries for corporate companies, huge corporations, and the prices don't look nothing like they do when Black trade show information started to be put as a part of it. Like, them printing fees change, the product delivery turnaround times drastically modify the everything. Everything that could be a problem becomes a problem, don't it? Like, and it's like people think everything's subtle. It's like, nah. If we doing this much on the front end that you see with our execution process, you really think we hold a hand, dragging our feet and playing around on the back end? That don't make no sense. we execute more effectively in the ways that don't require us to be codependent on having it depend on 100, 200, 400 people to get the information in to us to be able to get it done. So yeah. So Black Friday weekend, Shola, what's going down? What is something people should know? Or what is something people should have on their radar? You want to talk about the VIP?
Oh yeah, we're gonna definitely have a VIP lounge. I think everybody who contributes, everybody who purchases a ticket to the VIP lounge, I think it's going. Did we say 10%?
Yeah, 10%.
Okay, it's gonna be mandatory. Every vendor that participates is gonna be mandatory that you get 10% discount in our prices to the VIP lounge purchases. It also, what we say with the vendors, the food vendors. Did we agree on that?
I don't remember.
As far as the tickets.
What?
I
can't remember either. But yeah, so ultimately that is a one we're gonna have it. Yeah, we have a really small ticket amount for VIP vendors. So VIP vendors, there'll be the VIP lounge is ultimately upstairs where the old vendor catering pickup location was. That is being completely revamped. Y'all gonna see video footage of it. We got an event planner coming in to fully revamp that. It's gonna be a full-fledged experience. The VIP ticket includes a complimentary meal of the person's choice from a business vendor on the grounds, right? So oh, that's what we were talking about. No, you were talking about the pack. You were talking about the swag bag. Oh, okay. I thought it was a swag bag. Never mind. So the VIP lounge, it include a complimentary meal per VIP ticket holder. It includes complimentary light hors d'oeuvres, drinks, snacks, yada yada yada. It'll be a full-fledged lounge up there to just kick back, vibe, all of those things. It'll allow for them to also get an event photograph taken by the professional photographers on the grounds to utilize across social media or however they want to use it. So the awesome part about it is if a vendor happens to be a VIP ticket holder, right? Because they just wanted a way to do some fun stuff while letting their team rest. I don't know. But vendors technically can use the complimentary photograph to get some real personalized business photos done while attending the event. So while we do catch a lot of photos, a lot of our photos are really to capture the event. Majority of the vendors that end up with full booth images are vendors that did something that we wanted to make sure was captured for the representation of what a trade show display or exhibit should be. So everybody isn't going to see. We're still sifting through it. We got thousands of photos from the August event, so we're still sifting through them and posting them. The team is because some vendors were one day, some vendors were both days. The team is now trying to sort them by business so they don't have to do multiple posts of the same business vendor. So that's a part of why all of them haven't gone up. So if you've done both days, that's a part of why you probably haven't seen yours yet, because they got to locate all your photos from the first event day and the second event day before they do a cumulative post of all of them for you to pull from. But yeah, so that's that. But yeah, so when we do the event, when the photographer is going around capturing photos during the event, some of those are going to be great product images for you, some great photos for you to just share across your social media about your business. But it's different to have full-fledged images that you can easily pull off of our stuff and put straight on the website. Pull off our stuff and use it for branding material or email blasts or headers. That's a game changer right there, and that's invaluable. And so to have a professional photographer be able to do that right on the spot is a game changer. But guess what that means? That means you got to come and your business got to be prepared to capitalize on that moment. Like we got a lot of photos that's not gonna make it to anywhere because y'all got cups in them. Y'all got food. Y'all got plates to food. You a candle company with plates to, with food trays sitting on your table. You got cake containers sitting on your. You know you got a damn what's those things called, the Bohong Lee's cups, like the big gulps, like it's like this stuff is seen and yeah, it's just like, and we not going to attach that to our brand. One, because nobody's supposed to be eating on the event floor, especially in their vendor booth. But then secondly, it if it's not a part of your brand, it shouldn't be there. Even the camping chairs. You know what I'm saying? You see this, you see the outdoor lawn chair, camping chair in the booth, and then it's like a jewelry company. It's just like, why is that there? We we literally got indoor chairs that could be inconspicuous, pushed in under your table. Because typically when people have those, it's because they sitting behind the table anyway. So it's just like you want something that doesn't stand out or stand out like a sore thumb as a part of your event. This go round, we're pulling all the chairs even from the raffle booth because it's not necessary for nobody to be sitting down right there. They should be engaging with people at the entrance too. So it's like that's being pulled. You should be on your feet. You should be prepared to be on your feet. Drink a body armor. Make sure you don't have no muscle cramps. That's like this showtime. You won't want a janky performer sitting down the whole time they did a performance for you on stage nowhere. So why would you do that when you are capitalizing on building your brand, showing your brand, representing what your company is about front and center? Like you got a captive audience. They came to see you.
Right. And majority, I just sit behind God's chair. Like, get from behind the chair, get from behind the table and engage the customers. If you got a cosmetic company, you should be passing out samples. You should be, hey, smell this, smell that. I'm not saying run to anybody else, your competitors' booth or somebody in the same industry as you and drag them. Nah, don't do that.
Or tell somebody to leave theirs. Even if you is, we heard some crazy fucking stories. We heard about people going to other people's booths for trying to call people from other people's booth. We heard about somebody going to patronize a similar industry product provider, and then while they're there, trying to tell other customers at the booth, oh, you should go try these ones are better than theirs. But they do it under the premise of patronizing, like stuff like that gonna get you ejected from the event immediately. We're not gonna ask no questions.
If you're a vendor and you see that, please tell us. Definitely, please tell us.
Because that's a problem. That's a really big problem. Excessive trash is a big problem too. Like I want to say that almost every Black household enforce clean up after yourself. Like this go round, like you incur the entire cleaning fee we incur. We spent easily 2 hours, Shola, just literally sweeping trash and like you get what I'm saying? Not like, oh, it was something that fell behind. Like making sure cups didn't spill over as it was put together to get discarded. Like all of that stuff is additional fees for us. So guess who it gets relayed to? The people who created it. Our team don't leave trash nowhere because we value the space, we value the opportunity, we understand um, how much grace is being given to make it possible the way it is. So yeah, and it was a lot of people. Well, we got a lot of photos of people eating, drinking on their phones, either looking at their phones or literally talking on their phones during the event. That's what that break room for.
Unless you got a fantastic product, it's not going to sell itself.
And even when you do, even if you invest a lot in your branding, like somebody will look like, oh, that looks dope, and still keep walking. They'll literally pause. So if you're not there to engage them, pull them in, give them a reason outside of looking, you still watch money walk past. We seen video after video of money just walking straight past people, and it was like people didn't feel like it was their obligation to represent their brand. They thought it was everybody's responsibility to be interested in what your brand, what their company had to offer. and then they put you on to the details. But it's like, if you give a damn about your company, if you passionate about what you do, you should be eager to tell people, especially when they showed up to see it. Like, I remember, did I tell you about the guy at Walmart, Shola, that does credit repair? And he was giving out literally papers, like literally regular sheets of paper with all his credit card. I was in the bread aisle. I was just trying to get some bagels, and this dude trying to pitch me about his credit repair service in the middle of Walmart. Like, so imagine putting him in a space where everybody's coming to look for him, or he like expected to represent his like, just imagine what that would look like if given a space and opportunity versus you you have no idea. You have no idea if I like doing, if I'm looking for credit. You have no idea if I do business with men, with black people, nothing. You don't know nothing, but you're willing to just pitch, to plant that seed in my head at a random place, right? And then so it's just like, yeah,
you're on the clock 24/7.
facts. And that's why we did those shirts. It literally says "Minding My Black Business" on the back. Like, the amount of time, me and Shola was talking about the amount of times that we just get stopped and be like, "Oh, well, what's your business?" Or, "Oh, minding my Black business. I like that." Right. And so for us, it's like, "Oh, well, we do this, this, and this." Or sometimes we'll respond with, "Oh, this is actually our vendor shirt from our big Black Business Expo that we do every couple of months. Yeah, it happens here, these dates. The next one is then." And then boom, guess what? They're like, "Oh, what type of businesses?" We're like, "Oh, it has everything from this, this, this." They be like, "I've been looking for," you'll probably find one there. Like, it's like everything don't have to be paragraphs or essays. Sometimes people just need that moment of opportunity. But then the second thing is, did I tell you? We didn't tell you about this either. There's a black guy we noticed cutting the lawn at a church down the block. And every time we would see him, we would be in a rush somewhere. But the last time I seen him, we were headed back. We were technically still in the rush, but we had time, a little bit of time. So I pulled over. I literally pulled over, and I had to get in front of him because he doing lawn care service. He got headphones in. He ain't tripping off nobody. And so I get in front of him, and I'm like, "Hey, is this your business?" And he's like, "Yeah." And we started talking. I found out his daughter's a veterinarian, and and she trains horses. I found out he a part of a black cowboy club down here. They had just got back. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? And just off a casual conversation of like, "Oh yeah, I seen y'all around here. I've been meaning to get in contact with this." And so it's just, and the conversation lasted less than 10 minutes. And the amount of information, I found out his daughter had a book talking about black girl hair, a kid book talking about black girl hair. He put me on exactly what to look up to find the thing on Amazon in 10 minutes. So imagine you got 8 hours of nothing but space and opportunity. And you had time to sit down. You had time to chill. You was bored. You had time to surf social media. If you like that, and the two people across from your booth is like that, that's untapped territory. Like, you get what I'm saying? But yeah, oh yeah, what's
Can you imagine when it get bigger?
it's gonna be
Like, how
insane.
many people really gonna be able to handle?
And it's not like, if our point of entry at any price that we got going right now is a deterrent, or is you feel like it's too expensive, you're going to struggle to get into the spaces where we're trying to help catapult more of our community into. Like, no amount we spend even covers one expense attached to the no amount we charge even covers one expense attached to this event. And I'm not even bullshitting on that. Like, it takes multiple vendor fees to be able to cover one expense. And it's because the bigger it gets, like, though, there are certain people who make their living off of events, off of trade shows, off of expos, off of touring with them. And so it's like you're paying for everything that comes with the event. You're paying for the marketing, you're paying for all the service supplies, you're paying for all of the problems that could come, all the chargebacks or any type of financial hose, yada yada yada. And you're also paying their salaries. And if somebody doing a big ass event, typically, well, typically people that do events like that, the trade shows our size and larger, typically their salary is 10 to 25% of the overall trade show cost. So our trade show runs about 70,000 on the low end per day or two, right? And so if our trade show runs that, imagine what it runs if we do it. This time we're doing it full fledged. We doing every fucking thing, ain't we? We doing the bus ads. We doing the radio station ads on every single radio station. We're doing the social media ads. The billboard. The only reason it can't happen is because they already capitalize on all the billboards within a 10 to 20 mile radius of the event. That was the only reason we couldn't get it, because it didn't make sense. But we're literally doing it in 2 different markets, advertising this time, on top of the social media reach that we already have, plus the retargeting of the following we already got. So it's like, yeah, but full fledged mean the numbers ran up. We paying 4K just to put it on one radio station, and we put it on 4. So shit's about to get real. But we just had to make sure to say it out loud, and we had to make sure. And I felt like somebody outside of me needed to say it, because they be hearing me, and you know how people get showy. They get comfortable. They be like, oh nah, she just talking out her neck.
We definitely like the road we're trying to take it's not an easy one, and it requires growth. So this is gonna help weed out who's serious about this or who's not, And so stuff has to get enforced. Rules have to be, enforced. That's the importance of reading the emails, paying attention to the website.
Yeah. Well, how much we paid last time? We paid like over $700 just sending vendor text messages to notify them to go read their emails. So that's another expense. We literally, like, we gotta. It's almost like a kid. You say, go finish your homework, and you gotta say it 3 times, 4 times just to get it done. It's like, but that shit costs in business. Like, ain't nobody manually texting 400 people to say go read your email, because nobody has time for that. So for everything you need to get done effectively in business, especially in volume, it comes with a cost. The day after the recap, when we did the recap, me, you, and Najee did the recap after the event, it cost $100 to send that text to our email list because of volume. So it's like everything that seems insignificant, when you're talking about you doing it as 1-to-1, it's like it's more expensive when you're doing scaled stuff, when you're doing things that has to be able to accommodate a lot of people. Like if we had to answer the call and process registration for every single person, bruh, ain't no events happening this year. Like, but all the systems that it take to get that shit smooth and fine-tuned the way we got it, every single one of them systems got an ongoing cost with it. Ain't no flat fees, and they all require payment before that shit work. So, but yeah. So, how you want to wrap this up, Shola? Because it's late, and I want to eat.
I mean, the purpose is to grow. That's all we're trying to tell you guys. It's not just to stay where you're at. It's not to be stagnant. You're trying to grow. We're trying to see you grow. We're trying to help you grow. We're trying to grow in ourselves. So, not everybody can come. Not everybody can come. Some gonna fall by the wayside. Some of y'all gonna say too much rules. But use your imagination. What do you think is going to be in the white people shit? What you think? We're giving you a platform to showcase your business. What you think is going to be with the white people shit?
Yeah. And the sad part is we don't see them there. One of our clients, they were part of the auto that this is what me and Shola was talking about off camera earlier. They were part of the auto show at the convention center this weekend. And people in our community, not only did we not know what they was there, but even the businesses that would have benefited off of being in the room and networking as mechanics, networking, as the people that wrap cars or put right, as networking, as just designers.
You can't even get in that. You can't auto trade show. Not one black mobile mechanic in there.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like little stuff. We doing the concert series with T-Mobile right now, right? And they're not even being paid for it. It's straight marketing. It's just to drive brand awareness and loyal customer, right? So they done paid all this money to take over the VIP section of another venue's event space so that their customers have priority access. Just to get the brand recognition out there, just to get people looking in the T-Mobile plans, even though you're not trying to sell them a plan right in that moment. Like, you at a concert, ain't nobody about to buy a fucking cell phone plan when they're just trying to go watch a rap concert. It's like branding, it's marketing, and the amount of money they put into that just to be in front of you, just to not even to sell you nothing. It's just to plant the seed for their company name to be in the back of your mind. Exactly. Like, meanwhile, like, I want to see people grow. Granted, we don't believe in investing in money pits. We got strong feelings about that, but we also understand when you have to be very strategic and make calculated investments. And a lot of us, we love us a susu scam, a flower scam. Don't we, Shola? Everybody and their mama was in somebody's susu flower scam, but but I'm gonna tell you it's more disgusting. We're not gonna have this conversation about this story right now, but me and Shola are Nigerian. Okay, so we comprehend what real susus is, and that stuff that went rampant when unemployment stimulus was going on is not a susu. Period. It's a scam, but people was willing to invest that little $500 or that whatever version of it, right? But it's like you've been given the opportunity to completely transform the connections you got, the people you know, the opportunities, the rooms that you can get into, and it's like, oh, that's too expensive. That's crazy to me. That's gonna be the part that forces a lot of anchors to just stay at shore. like research it. I mean, at this point, y'all can look us up, but I think more importantly than that, y'all should really do some research about the spaces and the rooms we trying to bring y'all into. Research what other options you have to get into the room. Fuck our company name. Fuck us. Research how many opportunities you have to get in the room. Research the point of the access point of entry. Look at those numbers for real, and watch how drastically you're like, damn. Look at the stipulations and requirements to do so. That's going to give the necessary perspective to be like, all right, I thought that this was. It's like we care enough not to make people go through the shit the way we had to go through it. I would love to have been 20, exposed to somebody like me now, and able to execute on it. Like by 23, 25, I would have been a millionaire. Easily. People who are eager to give information. Me and Shola, Everybody on our team is helpful, but me and Shola, we have this thing where it's like we learn something and we like young. So check it. And it's like first thing I'm gonna do is put you on. I need you to know this. So because I really don't even think that comes from just wanting to share information for the hell of share information. I think that comes from a subconscious mindset that like if you cut off the head, but it's like if you cut off the snake's head, it'll just grow another one. And it's like
But
if
I think it's more so we feel it's our duty to help our people. So it's like even if it's my circle. If I learn something, hey, look, check this out. Hey, I'm a notary. What I call you? I'm a notary. So it's just I don't know, but it's take this knowledge, use it some way, somehow, or you know what I'm saying. I think it's the ancestors. I'm telling you, no bullshit.
yeah, hands down. And
it's your duty to help your people, yeah.
And it transforms everybody around you.
If you're a gatekeeper, it's your duty to let everybody in that motherfucking gate. One master tear his back. You let everybody in this motherfucker. And so, you know, they'll get it, hopefully. They'll get it.
Or they'll reminisce, or they'll go back. They'll be like me. Did I tell you about the time I was checking my old email like 3 years later? Like I was evicted, I was homeless, all this stuff. I learned about I was home. Yeah, I was evicted, I was homeless, all types of things. And it was a situation where I was going in the email to look for something court related. And that's when I realized it wasn't a once in a lifetime opportunity. It wasn't like a spirit of moment opportunity I got the first time in the event and marketing space. It was a reoccurring opening. It was my opening and I didn't even know it at the time. And so then I noticed another email and I was like, damn, this from 2 years ago. And I just looked up the person name. I said, man, opportunity's been coming to my doorstep. You hear me? For 2 years. And because I didn't even know what I didn't know, I missed them. And I've been up here trying to muscle it. I've been trying to get it out the mud and do it off of sheer muscle strength. When everything I needed was literally being hand fed to me. And I was overlooking it because I was waiting for it to happen in a way based on somebody other's preconceived notion. Completely transformed my life once I learned that. Oh, don't forget we're doing those flyers too. The flyer distribution at the state fair, since that's happening for 10 days before the event. Yeah, we just ordered 100,000 flyers. Like, yep. And the concerts coming up.
Not next week. Not this week. Not the week after that. I think next week after that. Probably like 2 weeks. I'm tracking down.
Yeah. So I won't wrap this up. It's been long. You know, I'm really like.
I gotta put these groceries up and I'm hungry shit too.
My Chipotle sitting. I mean, my burrito sitting behind this thing. But yeah, we love you guys to life. It's a lot about to come out the pipeline. And Shola did our official live from the Bad Black Markets Instagram page. So,
social media had, man.
Oh yeah.
Social media had. You made me log into my Instagram, man. I ain't like that shit.
You should have just logged out of yours and logged into it, but never mind. I digress. That's irrelevant. All right. So, does anybody hold on? Because it's people still rocking with us. So we need to give everybody a minute to actually be able to say or ask anything they need to ask. So I see it's people still in here on Facebook and on Instagram. If you have any questions, like at all, any questions, drop them things in the comments or put a 1 real quick so we can give you the time to drop it in the comments. Do you have any questions before we end this live? Any whatsoever? Put a 1 in the comments.
Oh, hey, yeah. I got a question. Hey, you blocked Slim?
Who?
them that did that wild shit?
They're both blocked in the database. So it's actually two. So the August event, we had two chargebacks. We had one chargeback from somebody who came, participated in the vendor, had tons of high quality images taken of their business that were going to be circulated and tossed into the site till that. And then the other one, she canceled the week before the event, i.e., in 100% cancellation penalty period. But we still want to extend her credit because we understood the situation behind her canceling. And she disputed it. Said she never got what she said she got. And that one, we turned in all the required paperwork for that too. And so, luckily, our business model is A1. Awesome. So somebody's about to ask a comment real quick. But yeah, they're both blocked, as well as very few other people. Majority of people, we didn't block them. We put them on the probation list because it technically wasn't formally in our terms and conditions that you cannot break down early. Now it is, however. So if you break down early at a future event as a vendor, you will be blocked from being able to participate in any future events because it's in our actual terms and conditions, business actual terms and conditions now. It's November, Michelle. It's November. What is it? November 26th to November 28th. Yeah, we're excited about it. It's gonna be a lot of little changes. We didn't talk about Shola,
What's that?
the networking hour.
Hmm?
The networking hour.
What you mean?
The hour. The hour of networking.
I don't know. I'm high. Yeah.
You so annoying. So yeah. So we're rolling out we got the feedback, we heard the feedback about wanting to be able to network, like actually intentionally network, and we all agreed with it. We all agreed with the networking. Being given actual intentional attention. So it's an hour dedicated to exclusively networking during the event, where the entire exhibit floor has to be closed down because we don't want it to be no theft, no accusations, no nothing. So the entire event floor is being shut down, and everybody will have the ability to network in the vendor break room, along with any VIPs. That is one of the things the VIPs can do. They can come in for the networking hour. Yeah. So it's
And
like,
I think that's important.
yeah, because it's like you don't know who you don't know, and realistically, during a bad black market, is no way to make it to all the booths unless um unless you kind of designate yourself to make it through several hours. But even then, as demand picks up, you're gonna have to go back and you may not make it around. So the networking hour is gonna be a way to kind of intentionally engage with people, and find out what they're about, what they do, where building capabilities may be, stuff like that. So that y'all have the ability to truly, truly connect with those that may be what you're looking for, what you need, um, your scaling opportunities, stuff like that. But yeah, that networking hour is definitely being incorporated to every event day. Um, the only customers that will be able to participate in the networking hour are VIPs because everybody else will have the ability to engage with y'all on the event floor. But that is a like very concise, like I'm here literally to build, figure out, make these connections, figure out who I can work with, figure out, you know, those little strategic things and engage intentionally without feeling like I'm being pitched or trying to be sold something real quick or being treated some type of way because I'm not buying something right at that very moment from you. So yeah. So I'm excited about the networking hour. And that'll be after the designated time that everybody is already supposed to be set up. So it's like everybody's booth is expected to be set up by 10:50. Um, there's no exceptions to that. Everybody's booth should be set up by 10:50. because the event floor gets closed completely from 10:55 to 11:55, and nobody can be on it. And so then ultimately doors open to the general public at 12. And that's why those VIP tickets matter even more. Yeah. So yeah. All right. I'm glad we remembered to say that real quick. Love you guys to life. I'm out. I'm tired of talking. I ain't even gonna hold you. This was great. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Thomas, can you turn off these laps?